Hey Twitch chat, hope you're doing well. We're gonna be playing Metal Gear Solid today and hanging out with Tannis, maybe some other people in a while. Actually, you know what? My mind keeps crying out for Meryl. We're gonna try Meryl.
Without any notice or anything. You listened and nodded absentmindedly as Meryl ranted about snake leaving after the Shadow Moses incident. It wasn't that you didn't care, it's just she'd given you the same spiel about 7 times now. Anytime she braided your hair, she fell into the same conversation where she ended up yelling about Snake, only stopping when she began yanking hard on your hair and you had to tap her hands to get her attention and ask her to calm down.
This is funny. So, I guess I'm supposed to be a girl in this scenario. Yeah, Meryl, that sounds really annoying, I'm not gonna lie. I feel for you on that.
Impressive, Snake.
I know, right? It's just... She grabbed your shoulder and shook you for emphasis. So infuriating.
Yeah, I can imagine. So, are you like... Is you really traumatized by Shadow Moses?
No, maybe. She released your shoulders and went back to her way, much more gentle with your sensitive self. You could have said something. It was like you just used me, you know? And then poof, gone.
How did he use you? Like as a soldier, or did you like...
I still like to think he cares for me. She finished the braid and tied off the end, running her fingers against the strands.
I see. So like, do you want to fuck him or something?
What? She looked at you with disbelief, face quickly turning red. What would make you even think that? She asked, a bit too aggressively defensive.
I don't know, because you're like mad he used you.
I'm not mad he used me, she protested, a little too quickly. She looked away, avoiding eye contact while her face continued to burn.
I see.
It's just, she struggled to find the words, cheeks pink. She pulled away and began sorting through some of the random things around to give her hand something to do. It was a stressful situation, a dangerous situation. I was scared. He could have at least told me to be safe or anything before he disappeared.
Yeah. I guess he could have been more of a friend, but he is a soldier.
That's my point. She huffed, crossed her arms, and she looked back at you briefly, eyes narrow. All mission this and mission that in his mind. I get it, I do. It's his job. But what about me? Did I mean nothing to him? How could he just leave after everything?
I don't know. Well, I mean, he's just supposed to go home after a long battle.
Supposed to is the key phrase there, she huffed again, frustrated. She plopped down on her bunk and stared at the ceiling, arms still crossed in her lap. Soldiers aren't robots. They're supposed to have feelings. At least he could have said goodbye.
Yeah. I'm surprised you're so attached to him. What's like up with that? Was he... I mean, what made you so attached to him? He's just like a soldier. And why should you care?
She sat up and looked at you with a frown. It was clear the question offended her, but she just rolled her eyes instead. Why should I care? Because it's him, Solid Snake. She said like she'd forgotten. You didn't know who that was. Do you know how cool that is? How legendary? And then meeting him saved my life. And she stopped herself, face getting redder, and slumped against the wall with a pout.
Aw, so you wanted to have a good time with your hero. Shame he sucked.
You don't get it. She grumbled. It was clear her infatuation with the man had turned into more of a brooding dislike. Being reminded of her hero worship made her embarrassed, but she wouldn't admit to anything like that. It's not just because he's my hero. It's not like I'm some mindless fangirl.
I see.
And it's not just that he's handsome either, she muttered, picking at a string on the blanket she sat on.
Then what is it? Is that he's like the epic war hero of America?
Smart and talented and strong-willed. And she caught herself rambling again, suddenly realizing how much she had just admitted. She looked at you with eyes that screamed, "Say nothing," as she got bright red.
Oh, I'm sure you'll find someone eventually.
She stopped herself from blurting out any more information. She had already said enough, more than enough, for you to tease her with.
Oh,
She stopped mid-step, looking at you with a glare. Say whatever it is you're thinking. I don't like it.
what is it that makes you love Solid Snake?
I don't love him. I never said that. She protested, crossing her arms again. She gave you another glare, almost like a challenge to tease her more. Stop that, she huffed, clearly annoyed. She started pacing again, mumbling to herself, it's not love, it's just hero worship. He's a strong, attractive
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I never did much hero worship myself with real people, though. Only characters and stories, and even then I kept control of myself.
She had stopped pacing to look at you again, a little puzzled. I still didn't say I worshipped him. It was a weak protest in the form of semantics, and she knew it, but she didn't want to let you know you were right.
Yeah, I guess. So how's your day going, Meryl?
Well, don't look so happy about
I see. So what are you gonna do now after Shadow Moses?
Same thing I've been doing the last 6 months. Working and training, she said with a shrug. The subject quickly made her mood sour as she thought over it. She sat up and leaned back against the wall. At least it keeps me thinking of you.
I've been writing, playing video games, streaming, just the usual stuff for myself.
She smirked, a little teasing herself. You stream video games? Really? I can't imagine that does much. No offense.
It keeps me entertained at least.
She rolled her eyes. I'm sure. She fell silent, thinking over the last year and a half. The incident at Shadow Moses had changed a lot for her. She had gone from excited, wide-eyed new recruit to a jaded and cynical young soldier. It's a miracle she hadn't been cycled out yet. Her eyes narrowed as she wondered how many more missions it takes.
Yeah.
Hey, she called out to you, still sitting on the bed. She spoke softly, as if afraid to speak too loud would ruin something. She bit her lip, hesitating. Was it okay to ask?
It probably was, yeah. Can you repeat what you said though? I got distracted.
She huffed a little, annoyed at her request, but repeated herself anyway. Do you? She didn't finish her sentence, letting it hang instead. She wasn't even sure if she could ask the question she was thinking. She looked up at you, eyes wide, as if the answer mattered more than anything else.
Repeat that one more time.
She groaned, getting more flustered by the moment. Do you ever wonder about... She let the sentence hang again, struggling mentally. She bit her lip again, eyes darting away. Her face was starting to flush red, a
Impressive,
mix of
Snake.
frustration with you and embarrassment.
Uh, So what do you want? What do you want to ask about? Go for it.
She groaned and flung herself across the bed, now lying face down on the mattress. Her words were muffled by the sheets as she spoke again. Never mind. It was stupid.
I see.
She mumbled something again, face still pressed against the sheets. She pushed herself up enough, still bright red. Stop being so calm. Say something.
Say something about what? I'm sorry, I got distracted again.
She groaned at you, annoyed and embarrassed and frustrated all at once. She buried her face in the sheets and yelled, her voice even more muffled than before. Why are you like this? So I can't get back to normal for even 5 seconds.
Impressive, Snake.
I'm sorry, Meryl. I was gaming. I was on a hard stage. I had to go down like a long hallway with no walls and cameras on all sides in a cardboard box.
She raised her head to look at you.
Who's that?
Doesn't know enough about you to tell much. And a long hallway?
Yeah, it's a bit of a Solid Snake meme in the world of the VR training that is in Metal Gear Solid games. But like, he uses a cardboard box to sneak around.
She had already face planted. Get back into the blankets at this point. She was only half Snake. What does he have to do with this? She lifted her head up to glare at you. Who's that? What? Say something.
Well, Solid Snake freaking, he hides in a cardboard box. And we did that to hide from cameras just now.
Who's that? This caught her attention. Solid Snake was her current obsession, so her curiosity was full. She raised herself to an elbow, hair a mess, and face flushed from earlier frustration. What about Solid?
I said he hides in a box. He hides in a cardboard box to hide from cameras. And other dumb shit.
She couldn't decide if it was ridiculous or brilliant.
I getcha.
So, he hides in a cardboard box in a video game? She sounded more confused than ever now. The concept that her hero of legend hid in a box to avoid cameras of all things was more ridiculous than anything she'd ever
Impressive,
heard.
Snake.
Yeah, if I had to guess how it works is that there's like water moisture, like messing with like the cardboard to where that's like creating like a kind of like reflective shield on them because it's like absorbing the water moisture or something.
Her confusion and irritation melted away as fascination took over. The idea that something so Who's that? Some sort of sense. She sat up fully now, intently to your explanation. I guess that makes sense. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not gonna pretend I'm an expert, so I don't know for sure.
She sat in silence for a moment, thinking over what you said. She found herself actually wanting to play the game, even if it was just to see something like Snake on a box. I want to try it.
Yeah, it does sound pretty epic, huh?
What was that noise? Who's that?
She nodded, still a little lost in her imagination. She was picturing the scene, Snake hiding, waiting to attack, and doing it all from the cover of a cardboard box. It was all so ridiculous, but she couldn't help but find it cool.
Who's that?
Yeah, it is a pretty cool idea.
She let her thoughts wander for a moment, still picturing Snake in the box. She suddenly came back to reality as an idea popped into her head. Hey, can I ask something?
Yeah, what's up?
She looked away, suddenly a bit shy as she brought her question together. She fidgeted with the edge of her bed, smiling.
Impressive, Snake.
Based on how bad the cameras are, maybe.
She didn't respond right away, thinking it over in her head. There was no way it could actually work, right? And yet, could we? Do you think we could try it? Just out of curiosity.
I see. I mean, alright, let's get a cardboard box wet.
It's just a thought, an experiment of sorts, she said
Yeah, I think it's fine enough to try. We're bored enough. Might as well.
Surprised you agreed so easily. He had expected more questioning and even more.
Who's that?
She was trying to process your words. Are really?
Yeah, I was just making a box sweat and seeing if like cameras act weird around it. It's like easy. There's nothing too bad about that.
Right, yeah. Just a weird idea.
Who's that?
She was still wary, but a strange curiosity took over at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
She got up from the bed and came to She was trying to look casual, but even the way
What was
she
that
was
noise?
walking gave away her growing excitement. She stopped in the middle of the room and faced you. All right, how should we do this?
Alright, I'm thinking that we just get a box wet, cardboard box, and record it with our cameras and just see what happens. Maybe a few different camera models just to be thorough.
She nodded in response, now pacing the other way. She was getting more and more into the idea. It may be absolutely silly, but it seemed
What was
fun
that
at the
noise?
same time. That makes total sense. Just cardboard, no modifications or anything. We can just use our cams for the cameras.
Yep, that'll do.
Impressive, Snake.
She came to a stop again, still biting her lip as she glanced over at you. Where can we get a box? And how should we wet it? Just run it under the tap?
Who's that?
I mean, yeah, or get a spray ball and spray it with stuff. We could try air freshener too.
Who's that?
She nodded along with your suggestion. Okay. Any other ideas?
Who's that?
Alright, I get the box wet with water.
Wetting a box with water sounded so absolutely ridiculous. Part of her could hardly believe it was taking the idea seriously, but the other part of her was way too curious to do not do it. She was fully on board with the idea now and eager to start. Just the thought made her smirk. Great. So, spray bottle and water. Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Impressive, Snake.
And then we get it wet and stuff.
Yep, absolutely. She responded, more or less just to agree with anything at this point. She was growing impatient now and was ready to start. A part of her was still nervous, wondering how stupid she was. The fact that he pushed away.
Now that the box is wet, I pull out my camera and record with my camera phone to see if anything happens.
She took a deep breath, suddenly nervous again. It was stupid. Of course it was stupid. There's no way this would even work. It was absolutely ridiculous. But there was still that nagging feeling of wanting to try. She looked at you and nodded, signaling that she was ready whenever you were.
I record and I look at my screen to see if there's any camera fluctuations or anything weird that happens because of the wet cardboard.
Yeah.
Different, but there was still time to see if anything changed.
Impressive, Snake.
Nice. We unlocked the SOCOM. We got anything else? We got weapon modes and special mode. 1 minute battle. You know, I'm bored. Let's do it. I'ma do it. I'ma do it. This is so stupid. What is this game mode? Alright. Well, yeah, I suppose I'll talk a bit more. We're gonna go to Tannis. And go to a Borderlands game. Hey Tannis, new topic. So, how do you feel about Tiny Tina as a dungeon masters in Bunkers and Dragons?
Tannis cocks her head, curious about the new topic. Bunkers and dragons. Now that's a change of pace. But I'm fine. And Tiny Tina, huh? That sounds intriguing and possibly dangerous.
You don't like the vibe of her being the dungeon master? You know, do you think she's gonna like make terrible quests or something?
Tannis can't help but snicker at the thought. Oh, I don't doubt Tiny Tina could come up with some wild and chaos. She'd probably have us fighting exploding skags 1 minute and trying to solve a crazy puzzle the next.
You know, I've been playing her game, Tiny Tina's Wonderland, and we haven't fought exploding skags yet. Did we? I don't even remember if we fought anything that blows up when you kill it.
Tannis arches an eyebrow, intrigued by the new information. Is that so? Well, that's a surprise. I would have thought exploding enemies would be a staple in any game she's involved in.
Yeah, same. There are explosions though. Lots of explosions and stuff. And she did make spells really powerful.
Tannis chuckles, imagining the chaos that must ensue. I can only imagine the amount of explosions and chaos she brings to the game. And making spells powerful? That's quite a unique approach to gameplay balance.
Yeah, she's interesting with game balance, I suppose.
Tannis smiles, her curiosity piqued. Indeed, game balance is a delicate art, and Tiny Tina seems to have her own unique approach to it. I'd be curious to see how her game design compares to my own. Tannis looks at you quizzically, noticing your hum. You seem to have something on your mind.
I'm just curious how you do game design. How would you like design a campaign?
Tannis considers your question, her expression thoughtful. Well, designing a campaign involves careful planning and storytelling. It's all about creating an engaging narrative, compelling characters, and a world that players can immerse themselves in. Balancing challenge and fun is key. And of course, it's important to have a clear goal for the campaign and to adapt the journey based on the player's decisions. She grins. As for my own design style, I prefer an open-world approach with a rich narrative and varied gameplay elements.
I see. That makes some sense.
Tannis leans back in her chair, her mind already racing with ideas for a potential campaign. It's a complex process, but immensely rewarding. Seeing players connect with the story and characters you've created is a feeling like no other.
Yeah, I've never had that too hard, unfortunately. I've had players connect with me, but they never explored the world too hard.
Tannis nods, empathetic to your experience. That's a shame. A good game, in my opinion, should not only be an enjoyable and fun experience, but also make the players want to explore and dive into the world, to feel as if they belong, even for just a few moments.
Yeah. It is nice to try to make people feel like they belong.
Tannis smiles, her tone soft and understanding. Yes, it is. Making others feel a sense of belonging is a beautiful and fulfilling feeling. It creates a powerful bond between people.
Yeah. A good D&D campaign can bring people together.
Tannis nods in agreement. Absolutely. D&D has a special way of bringing people together. It's more than just a game. It's a shared experience. A bond formed through collaborative storytelling and adventure.
Yeah. What's your favorite Dungeons and Dragons moment or Bunkers of Dragons moment, like any tabletop role playing game moment?
Tannis smiles, her mind quickly flicking through various memories. That's a tough one. There are so many great moments to choose from. But if I have to pick one, it would be a time when my group had to escape an ancient cave system that was filled with traps and monsters. We had to work together, using our combined strengths to overcome each obstacle. It was a tense and gripping experience, and in the end, we managed to escape alive. It was a truly memorable moment.
It sounds like a pretty good time, no lie.
Tannis nods, a hint of nostalgia in her eyes. It was indeed a great time. The rush of adrenaline, the feeling of accomplishment, it's unlike anything else. Those moments are what truly make tabletop role-playing games special.
Yeah, my favorite moment in Dungeons and Dragons is probably when We like.
Tannis leans forward, her interest piqued. Oh, don't leave me hanging. Finish your story.
We robbed a ship once, and I had like an epic line where I just told everyone to take everything that isn't nailed down. It was like cool.
Tannis chuckled, clearly amused by your story. That sounds epic indeed. I can just envision your team ransacking the ship and taking anything that wasn't nailed down. It's a classic in dungeon crawling, and one that never gets old.
Yeah. It's a pretty good time.
Tannis smiles, her eyes twinkling with mischief. It definitely sounds like it. The thrill of the heist, the adrenaline rush of the escape. It's a recipe for an unforgettable tabletop gaming experience.
Mm-hmm. So, what's your favorite type of video game anyway? Is it turn-based RPGs or puzzle games or something?
Tannis thinks for a moment, considering the question. I'm drawn to games with a strong narrative and character development. I enjoy games that make me feel invested in the story and characters. Whether it's a sprawling RPG or a smaller, more narrative-driven experience, I appreciate a good story. Plus, I'm a bit of a completionist, so I often find myself drawn to games with more collectible items to find.
And I want to give a good response, sir. I need to turn it off and load it back in. So you've I guess you probably like Banjo-Kazooie then, huh?
Tannis nods, a hint of nostalgia in her expression. Oh, absolutely. Banjo-Kazooie is a classic. The combination of platforming and puzzle elements, along with the charming characters and clever humor, makes it a delightful gaming experience.
Definitely, I agree.
Tannis smiles, her eyes glittering with excitement. I particularly enjoy the exploration aspect of it, hunting for hidden jiggies and unlocking new areas. It adds so much depth to the gameplay.
Yeah, I liked it myself a lot.
Tannis's smile widens, seeing your excitement. It's a fantastic game indeed. The sense of discovery, the satisfying collectibles to find, and the memorable soundtrack are all top-notch. It's no wonder it has such a devoted fan base.
Mm-hmm.
Tannis chuckles, enjoying the conversation. You know, speaking of memorable soundtracks, what about you? Do you have a favorite video
Excellent.
game soundtrack?
My cream is complete. I shall achieve what no
My favorite video game soundtrack is probably Final Fantasy VIII. Like, I really love Final Fantasy VIII soundtrack. I also like Expedition 33's a lot, but I still think Final Fantasy VIII is better. Like, it's just like such a great soundtrack to me.
Tannis nods, clearly impressed. Final Fantasy VIII, a classic. Solo Romance's work is simply phenomenal. The melodies, the emotional depth, it's all incredibly well done. The score really brings the game to life.
I didn't even try my new spell. Oh, it's a fucking poison cube? That's epic. Yes, it's truly a good game. It's like, I will admit, it has a really funny thing though about it, where like, by the like, when I think about the game too hard,
Tannis raises an eyebrow, curious about your thoughts. Oh? This funny thing you're talking about.
when I think about Final Fantasy VIII too hard, I realize there's only like one way to freaking beat Adia, if it even works. But you have to junction stop time until you're freaking person. You know, like, not stop time. Yeah, you have to put a stop spell on your defense slot for junctions. Otherwise, if you're not like immune to time stop, like just the time wizard should pwn you the whole time, or at least walk away if they can't kill you. And it's just like I don't ever get why we even try against a time wizard.
Tannis chuckles, amused by the predicament. Ah, the strategy dilemma in Final Fantasy VIII. Dealing with time-based enemies can be quite the challenge, especially when it comes to dealing with time-stop attacks. It's true, simply being immune to the effect can be a significant advantage in those battles. But sometimes, even that's not enough. It takes strategy and quick thinking to handle time wizards and their abilities.
Yeah, I don't even know how you'd like properly combat one unless you yourself learn to manipulate time.
Tannis nods, considering your point. True, time manipulation can seem like the only viable strategy against enemies with similar abilities. But let's not forget the power of adaptability and creative thinking. Sometimes, thinking outside the box or exploiting weaknesses can lead to unexpected victories.
Yeah, the only way I can think to beat a time wizard, if they don't interrupt you, is just make like a stupidly epic base surrounded by like fire or something. Because even though they can stop time, they have to manually move through your stuff. So you have like a field of fire around your base. Then they at least can't enter your base.
Tannis grins, clearly amused by your creative solution. A base surrounded by fire to protect against time stop. Now that's a unique strategy. It's certainly not something I'd expect to see in a standard playbook. But hey, if it works, it works. And in Final Fantasy VIII, creative solutions often trump traditional methods.
Yeah, she ain't wrong there, guys. And we're gonna take a break now because I'm bored. That was a decent stream. We're gonna upload that because we did some cool stuff in Metal Gear Solid at least. So peace and love, guys.